172 kilometers, 8 days, 3 strength sessions on top of that, almost every single run done fasted, and my legs have not felt heavy once. I want to show you something. This is the Pulsio Compression Pro. I've had them for 8 days, and I think they've had more to do with those numbers than I can prove. But I'm going to try. Welcome to PKSRUNS. So welcome back everybody, my name's Paul, this is PKSRUNS. For anyone new here, I'm a 45-year-old 2:45 marathoner. I post videos about my training here on YouTube, and you can find me on Instagram and Strava at PKSRUNS. Do come and say hello. Now before we get into this review, I want to give you a little bit of context about where I am with my training right now, because honestly it matters for understanding what I have just put these compression boots through. I am in a base building phase. I have been all year very deliberately. Everything I'm doing right now is zone 1 and zone 2 aerobic work. Nothing flashy, no intensity, no racing. Plus I'm doing my 3 strength sessions a week in the gym. And almost everything I run fasted. The goal is to build a big aerobic base before I move into a Valencia training block later this year. I'll be doing a dedicated video on what I've been up to soon. So if you want to follow that journey, make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell button so you don't miss any notifications or any more content from me. Now, a quick word on recovery. Honestly, I think it's one of the most overlooked parts of training. I target a minimum of 8 hours sleep a night, averaged across the week. I use my Pulsio TENS pods that Laura bought me for my birthday. I use those regularly on my legs. I've got a massage gun. I've got a selection of rollers and gadgets left in random places around the house. It drives Laura and the girls insane. I did briefly dabble with ice baths. Really briefly. Look, I want to perform well. I take this seriously, but I also want to enjoy my life, and sitting in freezing cold water turned out to be a line I wasn't really prepared for. So, one thing before we get into this review, I've actually owned a pair of Pulsio compression boots, the wired version, for a couple of years. I purchased them myself after watching Mark Lewis, fellow YouTuber, talk about the use of compression in his own training journey. Worth watching. They featured in my stories fairly regularly. They work. I've always rated them. But if I'm completely honest, there were plenty of days where I didn't use them. Not because I didn't want to, but because of the faff. You have to be near a power socket. And if I'm completely honest, despite all of the training that I do, I am incredibly lazy. Yeah, I said it. Convenience was the limiting factor. And that is an important piece of context for everything that follows. So, full disclosure, before we go any further, Pulsio gifted me this Compression Pro unit and the boots as part of their new product launch. What you're getting is an honest take. If it works, I'll say so. If it doesn't, I'll say that too. So let's move on to unboxing it. I did do an unboxing last Saturday. The footage exists. However, it turns out that I am not an ASMR unboxing guru. The careful unwrapping, the reverent silence, the slow reveal, none of that happened. So instead, I'm going to give you a few bits of key product information in an ASMR format. So I hope you enjoy. The Pulsio Compression Pro. 4 chambers. Overlapping. Seamless transitions between zones. Pressure range 40 to 250 millimeters of mercury. 3 customizable recovery cycles. Circulation, sequence, combination. Sessions of up to 60 minutes. Wireless controller, up to 3 hours of battery life. Smart inflation, 50% faster than the previous model. Arm attachments, hip attachments, full body if you want it. Portability, unrestricted. welcome. So here's what's actually different between the two models, because there's more to it than the wires. The original is wired. You plug it into the mains for every session. The Pro is fully wireless. It is up to 3 hours of use on a single charge. It is a large battery. 2, the pressure range. The original up to 200 millimeters of mercury. The Pro up to 250 millimeters of mercury. I've been running at 250 every single session. Every single one. I am, by my own admission, a man of extremes. Okay, so let's talk about the program length. In the original edition, you could do sessions of up to 30 minutes long. The Pro, you can do sessions of up to 60 minutes, and you can actually pause and restart them at any point, which for me is a game changer. 30 minutes is fine for a quick post-run session. On a proper recovery day though, 60 minutes is a serious step up. The 3 main reasons to upgrade are the pressure ceiling, the program length, and the battery. Though the smart inflation is 50% faster to reach the target pressure than the previous model. So when you've finished a long run and you just want to recover, you don't have to wait as long, and you will notice this. So you will see here on the control unit, there are 3 different modes I can cycle through. I have got the combination mode, the circulation, and sequence. And let me just talk you through how each one of those works. So firstly, circulation mode. All 4 chambers inflate sequentially from foot to upper thigh. Then they deflate together. One big progressive squeeze that pushes fluid upwards, which is my default after long runs. Sequence mode, each chamber inflates and deflates individually in turn. Better for a targeted relief if one area feels more beaten up than the others. And then there is combination mode, which alternates between circulation and sequence in the same session. On proper recovery days with time to spare, this is the one I've been putting it on and forgetting about. And when I say recovery days, I haven't had any recovery days. All 3 modes are adjustable from 40 to 250 on the pressure scale. Sessions run from 25, 30 up to 60 minutes on the Pro. They've got simple touch controls, no learning curve. The Pro can expand into full body compression with optional arm and hip and glute attachments. They are sold separately. I haven't tested those yet. For runners though, the boots are the headline. So let's talk about what I've actually done in these 8 days since these arrived from Pulsio. I'll put the stats up on screen because the numbers tell the story better than I can. But here we go. Saturday, 32.25 kilometers, 5:13 per kilometer, average heart rate 134, fasted. Sunday, 10 kilometers, easy recovery run, 133 average heart rate. Monday, 45-minute strength session. Then 17 kilometers, 5:08 per kilometer, 128 average heart rate. Tuesday, great run this one, 24.5 kilometers, 4:31 per kilometer, 140 average heart rate. Wednesday, strength session, then 11.5 kilometers, you guessed it, fasted. Thursday, 22.5 kilometers, 5:02 per kilometers. Friday, strength session, followed by 21.38 kilometers. And then Saturday, 33 kilometers, minimal fuel before, ran in full sun from 10 in the morning. And honestly, after a miserable winter, this one was a complete shock to the system. 138 average heart rate, pace 5:18 per kilometer. So, 172 kilometers of running, 3 strength sessions, 7 of those 8 runs completely fasted. Now, you might have noticed this isn't a clinical trial. I don't have a control. I can't tell you definitively that it was the compression boots that have made the difference. What I can tell you is how my legs have felt. And here's the context. I had to take off 2 complete weeks in January with a calf injury. I haven't managed back-to-back weeks of 100 kilometers since that injury time in January. And it's not just this year. Historically, calf fatigue, injuries, heavy legs have been one of the defining factors of my running. My pace on most days has been dictated by what my calves can tolerate rather than what my fitness can handle. And that's a real pattern, years of it. So when I tell you that across these 8 days, 172 kilometers, 3 strength sessions, 7 runs fasted, that I haven't had a single day where my legs felt heavy or my calves felt like they were going to tap out on me, I need you to understand what that means in the context of my history. This is not normal for me. Now, I can't prove it was the boots. The sleep is a part of it. The TENS pods are a part of it. My nutrition is a part of it. The full recovery stack contributes. But the boots are the new variable, and the results speak for themselves. Now, one thing I want to be really clear about, because I have owned the wired Pulsio boots for a couple of years, and this is the single biggest change. With the original boots, you had to be near a socket. You have to plan around it. And there were plenty of days, if I'm honest, more than I'd like to admit, where I didn't bother. Not because they didn't work, but because the setup felt like something really I couldn't be bothered to do. They spent weeks upon weeks behind the sofa gathering dust and would re-emerge when I reached breaking point. Convenience was the limiting factor. With the Pro, I've used them watching TV in the evening, while reading in bed, after my morning run, while working from home. I've even taken them into the garden after yesterday's long run. Now, this one is worth mentioning. It was hot. What I did not account for was the oven effect. The boots, which are black, let me show you. They are black plastic sealed around your leg in the direct sun and heat, turned into a fan oven. I made it 20 minutes before I had to call it. Intense sweating, not the vibe I was looking for. Hot sunny garden, probably not. Everywhere else, genuinely yes. One practical thing worth knowing. Once you're in a program, you can't move. You are completely fixed in place. Walking in these things is not a thing. So you need to choose a spot where you're happy to stay for however long the session runs, up to 60 minutes on the Pro. Of course, you can pause it, but who wants to do that? Plan for that, and the portability is brilliant. The point is, the wireless design removes the one reason that I wasn't using the original boots every single day. And daily use consistently is honestly where the benefit is going to accumulate. So here's my actual take. It's changed my behaviour much more than I expected. 172 kilometres in 8 days. First back-to-back 100-kilometre week since January. 0 heavy legs. That is the headline. So a few things that you might want to know. If you were going to buy some of these, buy them directly from pulsio.co.uk. You get a full warranty registered there. The controller does need charging. It's battery powered. It does cover your daily use easily. 3 hours worth. But build it into your routine. Remember to charge it when it dies. Talking from experience. Even at full power, it's definitely going to get that 3 hours, although I have not sat down with it with a stopwatch. The arm and the hip attachments do cost extra. Hint, hint, Pulsio, if you want to send me them, I will happily review them. If you want full body coverage, factor that in up front. Do not use them in direct sunlight. The oven effect is real. I would not recommend. And remember that once you're in a program, you are staying put. Plan your spot before you start. So, who should buy the Pulsio Pro compression boots? Well, if you're training seriously, you're building base volume, marathon training, heavy gym work, and you treat recovery as part of a plan rather than an afterthought, the Compression Pro are absolutely worth it. Look, if you're new to compression and you want a reliable entry point, the original Pulsio are still excellent. Don't write them off just because the Pro exists. But honestly, I would go for the portability of the Compression Pro every single time. So let's talk about money. The original Pulsio compression cost around £300. The Compression Pro just under £400. Do check the sites. They do run promotions and there are details of a discount down below. Look, you can spend up to £900 on compression boots from competitor brands. Honestly, I don't know what that money is giving you that the Pulsio doesn't. It offers wireless compression at roughly half the price of the NormaTec flagship. It doesn't feel like a budget product. The build quality is solid. The technology works exactly as it should. I've run 172 kilometers in 8 days. I know I've said that many times, but I want to make that point. My legs still feel good. I'm resisting running today. I'm taking a rest day, but I genuinely feel that I could. And honestly, that is a huge deal for me. If you're a serious amateur athlete, training hard around a full-time job, and you don't have a professional budget, these compression boots represent real great value. You're not making a compromise. You're just not paying for a big brand name. So, link for the Compression Pro is in the description. There may be a discount code down there worth checking before you buy. That is my honest take on the Pulsio Compression Pro. 8 days, 172 kilometers, 250 millimeters of mercury every single session, used all over the house. First back-to-back 100-kilometer week since January. Legs have felt genuinely good every day. If you've got questions, settings, how it compares to something else you're looking at, whether it might suit your training, drop them in the comments. Now, I do not need 2 pairs of compression boots, so my original boots will be going to a good home at the end of May. If you want to have a chance of taking my old compression boots, just drop me a comment in the comments. Let me know why you think it should be you. Now, if you're new here and you find this content useful, I do cover training, racing, recovery, and all of the data in between. Do subscribe. The button is right down at the bottom. It's free. I would love to have you along for the Valencia build later in the year. I'm Paul. This is PKSRUNS. See you in the next video.